Geekly. This week, one more season. And now your one more host, Mike and Deglio.
What is up, team? Welcome to K&M Geekly. Just a sneak peek at these four geeks talking about what's getting them through the week. And we have a special episode this week. It has been time to answer an important question from the mysterious Anne, one of our glorious patrons. I'm Mike Indeglio. That is Ronnie Parson. That is Keith Varney. And that is Dr. Nick Indeglio. We are on a bit of a time crunch today. Ronnie has to pick his daughter up and get a heating pad. Which is
Come on, man.
He's got to bum me. But we have business to attend to. First, it is Thursday, so tomorrow we splash down, we went to the moon, we went around the moon, we streamed that on our Discord channel. Check it out. You can join our Discord below. The landing tomorrow is going to be big, I guess. I hope they make it, and then we can be really excited. Watch some stuff, but we're gonna bail on the go around the horn this week. I want to jump right in. The mysterious Anne wrote in and asked, ostensibly, if you could bring back a show, what would you bring back? Now, I wanted to put some rules in there, so I told the guys, basically, you can resurrect the show. You get one more season. Mm-hmm. It could be streaming. It could be network. You can tell us what your thoughts are, but you get one season, up to 10 episodes. We're not doing 26 episodes like that, all right? Or whatever. You can give me the details what. So I want to know, basically, we're going to go around the horn. We're each going to get 5. And then we get 3 for the show that we can greenlight, all right? That's the rules.
And we should do 1, 1, 1, 1, 1,
100%.
2, 2, 2, 2, 2.
100%.
So I have a question, though, before we start.
Sure.
What are the temporal mechanics of this?
You can't bring anyone back from the dead.
Okay, but like, can we put another season on from back in the day, or does it have to be like a old codgers reboot?
I like. So it doesn't have to be like a Lego sequel reboot, right? It can be. We are tacking in. If you can make it work, we can. Like if you wanted to add. Spoiler alert: Deep Space Nine is off the table. All right, we've handled that. We talked about that for 500 hours. Obviously, we would bring that back for the last season. Clearly, so we're gonna.
Yeah. But what I mean is, the next season of the show that ended in 1996.
Yeah, it could pick up where you left off.
Do we get to pick up in 1997?
There's no rules, boy.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
Okay, that changes the answers.
So basically, what I want to hear is this: if you can quickly, because we might not have all seen every show, quickly summarize how it ended. Okay. Why you'd like to bring it back, and like a quick elevator pitch for what you might want to see. Maybe not specifics, but like generally. Okay. That's my thoughts. I guess dealer's choice. I'll start since this is my game. All right, let me bring us to this where I'll create some unholy AI poster art for the shows, I guess, or not. Okay, show number 1 I'd like to start with is a show that only had one season. It was canceled after one season, but I think it is beloved and it has a cult following. It is called Freaks and Geeks.
I knew you were going to say that.
Freaks and Geeks. It launched basically the careers of Seth Rogen and Jason Segel. Was one of their earliest sitcoms. It ends with Lindsay. After the first season, Lindsay, one of the characters, is rejecting the school path and deciding to follow the Grateful Dead on tour. This would be prime for a current Where Are They Now type of show. It was beloved. We can see if the Freaks and the Geeks, where they ended up, how they exist, how their futures turned out. And there's some meta commentary you could have with that about how people exist in high school doesn't necessarily determine how they turn out. I think we can all attest to that. So Freaks and Geeks is my number 1. Let's go clockwise. So Ronnie P., you're number 1.
Okay, man, I don't know if I can get 10 episodes out of this, so maybe a miniseries, but the greatest show of all time, The Sopranos. Spoiler alert, how it ended. Tony's with his family, and in my opinion, he gets capped. Boom, he's done. Here's my thing. What happened to the Soprano family? What happened to Carmelo? What's AJ doing? What's the kids doing? Who's in charge of the Gambino family now? I have so many unanswered questions. Again, you can't do 10 because you can't do Sopranos without Tony. However, a miniseries, let's go.
I love it.
Let's go.
That's a HBO staple. A lot of people unhappy with the way it ended. I think it would be interesting to revisit. Great thought.
I'm on board.
Keith, or no, Nick, you're next.
All right, I'm going to start with probably my most obscure, which you guys probably won't know, and then they get much better later in terms of popular culture. So this one was a show on FX in 2011, starring Holt McElhenney, great character actor, and the show was called Lights Out. It was a show about a former heavyweight boxing champion who was suffering some dementia and pugilistic piliquium, basically, brain damage.
Did you say piliquium?
Pugilistic piliquium?
Cavum septum piliquium is a form of brain damage boxers often get. Pugilistic dementia.
I think being able to say that proves yours hasn't kicked in yet.
That's what we're working towards it. But anyway, the show ends with, and the family's in dire straits. Money's an issue. He gets involved with some mobsters. Season ends with him regaining the heavyweight championship, but during the press conference, he completely goes into a bout of dementia, and the show closes with a look at his children and his wife who realize what's happening. So for me, another season really would have explored the aftermath of that, what happens to the family, what happens to Colt's character, and explored a lot of the other characters you meet during the show, including his father, which was a big part of the series.
I'm sure you said this, but for some reason my brain damage kicked in. How many seasons did it have, and where did it air?
One season on FX in 2011.
Never heard of that, but I want to check it out now.
Okay, so Mike and Nick go with one season cancellation shows. Ronnie goes with one of the greatest shows of all time. Keith, where are you going in round one?
I'm going one season cancellations as well. And now I'm going to rule out one just for the sake of it's already been talked about ad nauseum, but the one season absolute classic, Firefly. Obviously, but
no
people
fun,
talking
no
about
fun,
resurrecting right? Firefly is so done, and nobody needs to hear that resurrected again. So the one season I'm going to go for is My So-Called Life.
Oh yeah, that was only one season.
Only one season in 1994. And this, of course, is the Claire Danes, Jared Leto, Wilson Cruz high school drama, and I was exactly that age. I had a huge crush on Claire Danes at the time. It was way ahead of its time. It was written beautifully. It was ahead of its time with its storytelling and its topics on ABC. Only lasted 19 episodes. Deserved more. Either continuing the story or checking in on where everybody is now as adults. I'd watch either. My So-Called Life.
I can make some arguments. I mean, I guess in the moment we can either save it for the end and kind of like when we get to the short list and start really asking some questions, or should we do that up front?
I guess we're not going to remember.
Yeah, you're right. So Mike, a pro there is that Claire Danes is sort of, we need her back on TV. Like, I need me some more Claire Danes. I need to see some crying. Homeland, I wish
got plenty.
Actually, Homeland would be a great.
She was just on. Mike, she just had that series on Netflix or whatever.
Yeah,
the Prestige.
She was
series.
on. You just didn't notice.
Oh, okay. Well, I miss Claire Danes. I don't watch a lot of network TV. Where do you see it airing, Keith? Back on ABC?
I mean, ABC would cancel it halfway through, so you'd have to put it on a streamer.
Yeah. Okay.
I think.
So that's round one. Let's recap. We got Freaks and Geeks. We got The Sopranos. We got pugilistic Parakinesis. And we got My So-Called Life. That is pretty solid round.
Well, here's the question.
Okay.
Sopranos, are we continuing it with or without Tony Soprano?
Oh, no, he's gone. He's gone.
Well,
he's
he
done.
did. Yeah, we can't.
He did, man.
Well,
He's
I
good.
mean, it was written in such a way that you could rewrite it and have him be there or not.
Or you
See, I think that best would be just to see if he did die, like what happened to them. Because if you watch the show, all those wives are a mess when their son.
Yeah, I think so too.
You know?
Yeah.
So
well,
let's go with
the
that.
challenge would be they have to write him off, right? So how did that happen? Maybe he
I
didn't
don't
die
know.
there.
Well,
and then
we're doing temporal mechanics here. We can do whatever we want.
No, you can't bring him back from the dead. That was a rule.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Round two, I'm going to go back to HBO. This one is one I think I can make an argument that the current landscape of media is totally ready for this. Tales from the Crypt. We talked about the series, but here's the thing. It never really got a big finale. It just sort of ended. I think that Black Mirror and what was the other one? Reboot, I think, that sort of proved that the anthology series. What was the Cabinet of Curiosities, right? That was the other one by, what's his bucket? De Toro. Yeah, the sort of
American Horror Story.
Yeah, that's less of like a week to week. But yeah, anthology series are sort of the thing. I think 10 fun horror-directed, curated directors getting to do whatever they want. You keep it limited. You also like celebrate the camp. You do a huge HBO marketing thing with the Crypt Keeper. It had a very specific tone. I think it can be a celebration of the IP, maybe test to see if it's got more legs in it. I just think horror's kind of making a huge resurgence. Horror on TV. If it's just going to be a limited 10 episode run, let's put it on HBO in October. It could be huge. You do 2 a week for the whole month of October. Tales from the Crypt coming back. That's my number 2. Ronnie P.
That's my number 1. Let's go with that one. Oh my God, that's the winner. I would love that. Horror. I didn't even think about that, Mike. Jesus. I'm going back to HBO again. Remember Young Justice?
I don't remember Young Justice. You got to
really?
Yeah.
So it came on Cartoon Network. I guess it was early 2000s, Nick? Was that early 2000s?
Yeah.
Young Justice came on. Yeah. Basically, it's the sidekicks of like Robin, Aqualad, Superboy, and they make a team. And it went 5 seasons. It got canceled. It came back to HBO Max, and it ends on Dark Side Lumen. How do you end there? But the cool thing about the show is like you don't need Batman or Superman. Like they're rarely on. It's all about the young guys. And Nightwing's on it. There's Tim Drake, Robin. Yes, let's go. I need Darkseid in my life. Bring Darkseid back. Boom.
Young Justice.
Young Justice. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, a question I'm going to ask everybody, especially for the shows that some of us didn't remember. The question is, to bring these back, do we do a run-up where we re-air? See, we can, alongside these on streamers,
Absolutely.
You can like re-prep the, Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a space for that, Ron, in the current superhero landscape? There's so much superhero, right?
It's animated,
with
right?
Supergirl? Yeah, it is animated. With Supergirl coming out too? Oh my God, yeah, dude. Absolutely. This only helped DC out, James Gunn's DC out. And Creature Commando's on right now. That's a hit. People love that. So why not bring Young Justice back?
I asked that question because on my short list was, because I've started watching it again, on your recommendation is the old Spider-Man animated series, and that sort of sucks. The ending of that sucks because he doesn't end up with Mary Jane, and you're like, what?
But they're bringing that back. Like X-Men 97, Spider-Man 97 is coming back.
Okay, great. I'm glad it's not on my list then. Cool. That's awesome to hear. Okay, you
know.
heard it here first, folks. Okay,
right.
we got Tales from the Crypt, Young Justice. Nick, number 2.
I'll go horror since you went horror. And I actually have 2 horror on my list, but I'm going to start with Chucky. It aired for 3 seasons starting in 2021. Don Mancini, who made all of the movies, also made the TV series. It aired on Sci-Fi initially, and then they started sharing the budget with USA because Sci-Fi, all owned by the same company, but they couldn't afford the big budget the show required. In season 3, it goes so over the top. They're at the White House. Chucky basically possesses the president.
Yes.
They introduce a spirit world where ghosts from the White House are actively fighting against Chucky. It's basically like, it's the end. It really is as high as you can go in the series. However, they end it on a massive cliffhanger after they leave the White House. The 3 kids, who basically are the main characters through all 3 seasons, meet the person who invented the company that made the good guy doll. And he basically imprisons them, turns them into puppets, and the season ends with them captured as puppets. And Chucky basically had escaped with, oh my God, I'm blanking, but the girl, the crazy girl who's in all the movies.
Oh my God. Tiffany.
Yeah, played by the actress everyone knows. Anyway, I would have loved, it doesn't have to be a full season, but at least like maybe a 3 or 4 episode wrap up of that storyline where you finally get to meet the guy who started it all.
I didn't even know it had been
season
canceled.
2. Yeah.
Yeah, they canceled after 3 seasons. And the ratings were spectacular. They just couldn't afford to make the show.
Well, here's the thing. The great thing about Chucky is Chucky's never really dead. Like, none of them, the '80s killers were ever really dead. So Chucky will be back in some fashion.
Eventually.
I hope.
Okay, so we got this is a good round so far. Keith, close it out.
All right. Well, this one is fairly obvious, but I'm gonna say Star Trek Enterprise,
Scott Bakula.
was canceled after 4 seasons. So the only of the '90s 2000s era, the Berman era, that died early, and because of ratings and budget. And I feel like I'm not going to get into spoilers because Mike and I will be reviewing that someday. But I thought it got canceled. For real, it got canceled at the height of its work. It was the best it ever was at the end of it, and it was not an artistic cancellation. It was a money thing, and I think it deserved to keep going. If you canceled it after like season 1 or 2, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. But after 3 and 4, it got good. What are you doing? Give me another season of Enterprise.
All right, so round 2, we got Tales from the Crypt, we've got Young Justice, we've got Chucky, and we've got Enterprise. Let's go into round 3. I'm throwing you a wild card. So this is not a show that was per se canceled, nor do I think it needs a reboot, but I think it needs a celebration. Initially in this slot, I had Mythbusters, but I took that off the list because Mythbusters ended as it should have, and Grant isn't with us anymore, and Jamie and Adam don't really even get along. It ended fine. Mythbusters is good. But it got me thinking, what is a show like that we could bring back and celebrate for a limited run? And I thought, what's a great piece of my heart but the Nickelodeon Snick days? So I'm saying Double Dare. We bring back Double Dare for like a 10 primetime episodes. We celebrate old contestants. We bring back the families that won. We make it bigger or better. We do a totally 90s Nick theme with the slime, everything Nickelodeon. We the cartoons the commercials are all the old cartoons, however you want to package it. But we have like a big celebration of 90s Nickelodeon through Double Dare. And Mark Summers is ready. He's on Cooking Channel doing God knows what. So he can't wait.
I feel like this is a great Floor is Lava got us through the pandemic sort of a deal.
Yeah, Floor is Lava, or Is It Cake? There's all kinds of stupid crap. So let's go back to where it all started and celebrate Double Dare. I know they've tried to do some Double Dare type vibe, even with Mark Summers, if not in 2019 or something like that. But forget that. Let me give it the legit back.
People also forget that Double Dare was produced in our area. So the company that did all the casting was from Philadelphia area, and everyone cast for that show were from the Tri-County schools near Philadelphia, right over the bridge in New Jersey and in Delaware.
That was right before they moved to Florida. But then I think towards the end of its run, the second half of its run, Double Dare is what opened Nickelodeon Studios in Florida. It was that was their big show still. So
right. Yep.
Nickelodeon had great. Go back in the archives. Legends of the Hidden Temple, Finders Keepers, Guts. I mean, Nickelodeon had some bangers.
It really did.
All right, so that's Double Dare. Ron, what is your number 3?
So I've been hearing rumors about this, but I'm not sure, so I'm just going to put it out there. I know Game of Thrones does prequels, and that's cool and all, but damn it, I need to know what happened. What's going on with Bronn the Broken, the new ruler of Westeros? What is going on with Jon Snow? I need to know what is going on. Give me a sequel, damn it. Let's go.
Before the books are even done.
Oh, you know what? Let's scratch that, because before the books were done, they completely tarnished Game of Thrones that last season. I pretend that season never happened.
You just want to replace the final season?
Yes. Yeah. Can we do that? Let's do that. Yes.
Do that.
Yes. Let's replace the final season of Game of Thrones, because that just ruined it. I'm sorry. It ruined it, man. And Mike, I know you didn't finish it yet, but just don't watch the final season when
That's the only season I watched.
I mean, I would say just the last 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was fine with up until
the last. It's just the wrap up.
But they seem like they rushed it though. They rushed the whole entire season. It seemed.
No, but the battle against the White Walkers was great.
Yep.
That was awesome.
Everything up to Battle of Winterfell.
Yeah.
Yeah, Keith, you're right on. After the Battle of Winterfell is when it started falling apart, which is the last 3 episodes.
So let's remember when we adjudicate, Ronnie is pitching basically the Snyder cut we're doing a complete erasure and redo of the final season of Game of Thrones. That's a big swing, but you know what? I think enough people would be on board.
I think they would.
That it could probably get greenlit. Okay, it's on the list.
Probably.
All right, Nick, we're coming to you, round 3.
All right, round 3. Since Mike did a Nickelodeon show, I am also going to do a Nickelodeon show. And I'm doing one that was actually a reboot, a sequel reboot of the original show. As you know, in the early days of 2008, around there, iCarly was on Nickelodeon, aired for several seasons, and it ended with a actual ending. They ended the show with iCarly leaving her friends on a plane to go to Italy to be with her dad.
What were you doing watching iCarly in 2008?
Yeah, my kids liked it, and I watched it too. I actually wound up liking it better than they did.
I was Hannah Montana, so I get you.
They bring iCarly
I would be on a
back.
list if I put these names out.
They bring iCarly back in 2021 with iCarly and Freddie and all the characters in their 20s, basically, and they make it more of a adult-type sitcom, but it ends on a cliffhanger after 3 seasons again, and they canceled the show. The cliffhanger was, at the end, there's a wedding that's supposed to take place. It doesn't happen. Carly and Freddie are kind of together, and then Carly's mom shows up. The mom she's missing from the entire original series. You never hear anything about her. It was the big question everyone always had about the show, and then the cliffhanger ends with her walking in, and that's it. We never find out what happened. So I want another season to find out why iCarly's mom's back and what finally happens with Freddie and Carly.
Okay, I love that, but I'm going to make my argument against it is just this from a network perspective when we're talking at the end of the day. Look, Fuller House proved the Lego sequel can smash, all right? More popular almost than Full House initially. However, they tried to do it with Saved by the Bell, which is like a very much iCarly adjacent type show, and that was not successful.
The college years?
No, they like brought back
that
Mr. Belding, whatever. Yeah.
Oh, that was horrible.
So that makes me think, but you have a plot established. You have like a plot thread ready to go. I was thinking Clarissa Explains It All back in there, but I was like, there's not enough fodder there to like have a new season of it. Okay.
Yeah.
iCarly was huge too, so how old is she now? Is she a pop
probably
star?
early 30s.
Yeah. Okay.
She's not. Yeah, Miranda Cosgrove.
Okay, Miranda's in then. Okay, iCarly. I like it. Keith, let's round out round 4.
Okay.
Or round 3, excuse me.
I'm going back. I'm going deep into the obscure well. On a 1-season show that aired on FX in 2007 called The Riches. Which was it's a family of crooks assume the identity of an upper middle class suburban clan in the deep South, and it is all about them pretending to be these people, stealing their identities and having their wacky family. It was really good. 2007 was like right when like Breaking Bad was starting, and listen to this cast: Susie Izzard back when she was Eddie Izzard, Minnie Driver, Shannon Woodward from Raising Hope, Noel Fisher from Shameless, Todd Stashwick from Picard, Greg Henry, Margot Martindale, Caitlin Olsen, Jared Harris. All of these people were on this show. It was really fun. It was sort of pulpy. It was suspense at the end of every episode, sort of a la Breaking Bad without those stakes. It was more of a comedy. But I really loved this show, and I was so disappointed when it didn't get picked up for a second season. But with that cast, it was so good. I just want to pick up where they left off. I want to go back to 2008, give them another season, let them wrap it up, because it was really fun to see how they were going to spin it. Because it had the sort of like, how are they going to stay in the situation like Weeds did at the time, and it was sort of in that sort of a vibe with just such a great cast.
All right, and I think that like the plot sounds like almost in a universe of Schitt's Creek. So there's
sort of like Schitt's Creek if they were criminals.
Sounds like that could play with today's audience.
I think so. I mean, with that cast, I mean, just let them go.
Well, you could build it around Olsen too, right? 'Cause she's huge now.
Sure.
Okay. That's an eclectic round 3. So to recap round 3, I went with Double Dare. Ronnie P went with Game of Thrones Rewrite the Last Season. Nick went with iCarly. And Keith went with The Riches. That is a round 3 you weren't expecting out there.
No.
Round 4. That's where it gets serious for me. Round 4 is going to be a tougher sell for me, but maybe of all time, the worst cliffhanger ending was a little sitcom called Alf. Which I just loved. I thought...
I remember you loving it. I remember
Alf was
man.
awesome. I loved the sort of... the vibe of it. I don't think the cast was the strongest, but somehow they made it work. I liked the humor because I was young. But regardless, it's about this alien who gets left on Earth and has to live with his family. So it's the traditional family sitcom trope, but there's an alien and they've got to keep him from the government, and he's trying to eat their cat and he's trying to learn. It's funny. It's good network crap. I mean, it's every bit as good as 2.5 Men, right? And with a puppet. But, I think it was maybe it was a live actor. I can't quite remember. There was puppetry involved. Let's put it that way. It ends on a cliffhanger because they did not know that they had been canceled. And it's a funny, goofy show. And all of a sudden, he's going to get found. His family comes. But at the last second, his family comes to pick him up. And his human family is saying goodbye emotionally, but here shows up the FBI. And the last shot of the show is he gets brought to a facility and they're going to arrest his home family. This is a family sitcom. That's like if at the end of Full House, Danny Tanner does 6 hard years, right? Like, this is not how it's supposed to go.
That's funny.
If I'm not mistaken, they tried to wrap it up in a made-for-TV movie some years later, but forget that.
Nah, that doesn't count.
Give me 10 episodes of Alf somewhere alongside because I don't even think it's streaming anywhere. I think you have to watch it on YouTube. So let's get Netflix or somebody the whole series of Alf. Let's pop on a new season. I think they're all alive. And let's get them out of the freaking FBI government, please. Let's just let's rescue Alf. Ron.
And Mike, it wasn't the FBI. It was the alien agency. It was like Space Force.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, it's clearly shot. Even the stinger on the pullout.
We've got to get all of the Alfs out there when it comes to aliens and houses.
100%.
Do it him. Yes, that could work.
They really shoot it like...
Deport the aliens who eat cats. They're eating the cats and dogs.
Well, Alf was trying to eat that cat.
He was.
They definitely shot it with the expectation that they had another season, and NBC was like, nah. Or I think it was NBC.
It was NBC. And
NBC,
before going to Ronnie, since this was my round 2, Mike,
okay,
I had Alf.
Yeah, jump in.
So I would add, and you basically explained this, but I want to emphasize how different that season finale, how different the tone was from everything that came before it in the show. Prior to that episode, the government agency, the alien chasers,
they were
bumbling fools. Yeah. And you had them start trying to work with the neighbors. Remember the crazy neighbors? And Alf was trying to eat their cat too, and everything else. But then you get to this final episode. The family is legitimately mourning that Alf is leaving with his family, right? Who he's found after what? 4? How many seasons? 6 seasons? I think it might have been
4 or 5 seasons.
4 maybe. So you've got the emotion of the family. Alf is torn, but he's happy to go home. And then you literally have like an X-Files ending where the secret government agency basically barges in, scares the family away, and Alf is literally put in like a Raiders of the Lost Ark facility and it just ends. That was traumatic. Any kid watching that show, that's a hard ending.
And because they changed the tone there, because they're changing tone there, leaves room for our special 10 episodes to be much more adventure focused, perhaps, to get him out of there. I think they're all alive, but we can
watch him be tortured for
now,
like 2 episodes.
We could recap.
I was gonna say, Keith, do you go dark with this, or do you go back to the friendly family tone?
I mean, the puppet is pretty ridiculous.
It's not fair. Like, I don't think it's fair to change the tone like, why do a reboot if you're not going to be if you're not going to honor the essential thing that it is?
Good point.
Well, I think you start it with like the first couple minutes, you shoot it very much like it's going to be this gritty adventure escape thing. Then they cut to inside the prison, and Alf is like yucking it up with them, and he's like living at large. You know,
Totally.
There's a bunch of ways to do it, and this is the last point I'll make on it, and we'll move on. The tone of the first Muppets reboot movie with Tina Fey, that exact tone is what this show would have to be. I feel like that would fit perfectly. Because that's sort of a heist film, but with puppets and the irreverence.
Because of the way it ended, you can also bring in a slew of new alien characters that are also imprisoned. I mean, there's so much room you could make a season out of.
So that's Alf. That's Nick and I's number 2, or round 4. Ronnie, round 4.
Hear me out, guys. Hear me out. You will not like this one, but I'm telling you right now, this would be a massive hit. I'm going reality, and I'm going with the greatest reality show of all time. I'm going with my man Joey Greco and Cheaters. Do you remember Cheaters?
I do remember Cheaters.
Could you imagine that today?
Was that UPN? Was that UPN Cheaters?
I believe, I think it was. Was it UPN? I know Saturday night, like at 12 or 1 in the morning. I know that came on, and I would come back from the bars and put on Cheaters. That was my Saturday nights. I remember that. Basically, it's if you found infidelity in your relationship, you would call the Cheaters hotline. They would hire private investigators to follow your spouse, and then they would give you the information when your spouse was with the partner. They would bust you, and holy s, wow, like. The best episodes when Joey Greco got stabbed on the boat. I still think all that stuff was real. I really do think it was real. But we do this on Twitter and TikTok and Instagram. We watch it now, but this was the original. So why not bring the original back? It would work, man. It would work.
Wait,
Lawyers?
You air it like right after Love Island. And you just like you have the actual girlfriends find out.
Well, how about this? Let me do a spin-off. Only episodes about former reality show contestants.
People. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Man. Wow.
Because you're only doing 10 episodes. And you couldn't really do a second season because everybody would be on to them. So you would have to do reality you make them think they're filming something else. Do it like Kitchen Nightmares or whatever.
I like it.
I like that.
I want to point out, though, that feels like it's the Wayback Machine, right? So Greco hosted the show from 2002 to 2012.
Then the new guy sucked.
It returned briefly in 2015. And then Clark Gable, not that, well, obviously, he hosted the show, continued on until his death in 2019. And then in February 2020, it was announced via social media that Peter Gunz took over. What I'm getting at is that filming of season 21 took place in Dallas during the summer of 2020, despite COVID, and it didn't stop its run until 2021. That show only stopped until 2021.
I had no idea it was still on.
So you could find Cheaters, Ron.
I think that extra season's there, buddy.
That's my weekly rad. Cheaters. Let's go.
I wonder where you can find it. I'm sure YouTube has it. Okay, so
I'll find it.
We got Alf, we've got Cheaters, and Keith, what is round 4?
All right. Well, I'm really sort of, other than Enterprise, I'm only going obscure because I think that's more fun. So I'm going to throw back to a 2003 show on Showtime that only lasted 2 seasons. It was had 29 episodes and then a follow-up movie that wasn't that good. It's a show called Dead Like Me, which was it was set in this world where our main character is a teenage girl. She dies, and she finds out that she has been assigned to become a Reaper. And what that is she's supposed to be there to arrive when somebody dies to help their ghost deal with their death and move on to the afterlife. But they're sort of like the DMV of having people transfer from, to deal with their death. And so you have these crazy stories of they watch the guy get hit by a bus and like, okay, buddy, let's wrap up your existence and move you on to the afterlife. And it's sort of a comedy, and Ellen Muth is the main character with Callum Blue, Jasmine Guy, and Mandy Patinkin.
Oh man,
is the head of the Reaper folks. It was created by Brian Fuller, who you would know as wrote 80 episodes of Voyager. He created Hannibal and Pushing Daisies and Discovery.
Pushing Daisies.
Yeah,
Wow.
so he created this whole thing. I really enjoyed this series. It was really good. It was smart and funny and fun and kind of quirky, and I think it deserved another season. So I would love to, and you could do that today. Bring back that whole cast. They're all great. Somehow convince Mandy to do it, and it could be good fun.
I think you all knew it was coming here. It's Quantum Leap, folks.
Of course.
The last episode is very satisfying in its story. Sam has to go back and help Al stay with his wife. They end up having 4 kids. It's awesome. But then the last cryon on the screen, spoiler alert for Quantum Leap, is that Dr. Sam Beckett never returned home.
Remember us crying about that, man?
I mean, are you?
We bawled.
It's not like he made some grand hero sacrifice. He just is still out there leaping currently. How do I know that? They tried to do the stupid reboot where they use reference to him still jumping and leaping out there, but their focus and the mission on that show was never to go find him. So F that. Now, Dean Stockwell is no longer with us. However, they already did the reboot. Cool. Bring that dude back who was the lead of that. And now we have episodes, but I want it focused on Sam. Give me Bakula. He's had a wonderful career, but we need Bakula back. And I want 10 episodes. It's the search to bring back Sam. I don't know how we could talk. It will sell. It will work. People will watch it. You do it alongside the streaming release of Quantum Leap, which is already airing on every syndication. Let me tell you, still holds up. It's got some moments that need to be probably censored pretty hard, but it pretty much holds up. I love it. It's my favorite show of all time. I can't believe that the reboot got canceled before they even addressed Sam. Makes me so mad. He had to even release a statement saying, I'm not involved, which is some BS. I know he's busy with Keith's reboot of Enterprise, but you know what? There's always room for Bakula on my TV screen. So it's Quantum Leap. It has to happen. Ronnie P.
I said the same thing, but I'll go with something else. Hear me out. Why not bring us Transformers G1 back? Now, hold on. Right now in the comics, Robert Kirkman he's writing a Transformers, and it is more graphic. It's for us people, or us kids who grew up on the Transformers series. Let's make it adult themed. Optimus is back. We can bring Hot
Full
Rod back
nudity
too.
from the Transformers.
Absolutely. RC we want to see RC, right? Come on, let's go with that. The Robert Kirkman's comics are insane. Like, actually right now in the comics, like, Optimus is not the leader anymore. Alita 1 came back and she's kind of mad at him because he's on Earth instead of fighting the war on Cybertron. So she's beating the crap out of him and he gives her the Matrix back. I need that live action. I need to see that. He's not even an Autobot anymore. She's like, if you don't come back to Cybertron, you are no longer an Autobot. Because Megatron, but he knows that Megatron will destroy the Earth, and the Autobot, we have to help him out. And she's like, no. Cybertron is our home. That's what we need to help out. Let's bring that for adults, Transformers G1, that comic book run, the new season of it.
See, if we were going to do that, what I would say, because they canceled that last Ronin film, which is what I wanted to see.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I heard.
Bring that to TV instead. I want that story. I love that comic so much.
Oh, so good, man. So
Ron,
good.
I don't know that the G1 animation style is going to work with that story. That's like real dark and gritty.
That's true.
And the other piece to mention is it ended literally with the golden age of Cybertron. So the Decepticons were completely destroyed. Megatron was universes away.
Okay.
You could retcon it, or you could just put it in its own universe. But...
Let's have it. Okay. Own universe. But the mature Transformers, because they're already doing the 40th anniversary tour. So, the 40th anniversary, G1 Transformers is back.
Now,
and
I'll let that stand. But because you also picked Quantum Leap as a number 1, I need you to give me your defense and your pitch for the show.
Oh, for Quantum Leap?
Yeah.
Oh, what you said was perfect. No, honestly, I would. No, that's perfect, man. I would do what you just said.
And you know what?
But we got to bring Scott Bakula back. You got to bring Scott Bakula. It has to be Scott Bakula. And they're trying to find him. 100%.
Yeah, even if Scott doesn't want to star in it, although he should.
Oh, no. You need Scott
He
Bakula.
would.
Yeah.
He
You
totally
need Scott
would.
Bakula.
Yeah.
And maybe you get a girl for Ziggy. Like Ziggy, instead of Dean Stockwell, it's Ziggy now.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah,
Right.
right?
And they did something with the lore about like Ziggy's daughter or some crap like in the future, whatever. But the TV show doesn't even have to exist as far as I'm concerned, like the reboot. Forget it. And I know Belisario wants it, do it. Do it. All right, Nick, number 1.
Yeah, my comment on Quantum Leap is that I expected after it ended, because it ended with a regular story, without, with the he kept jumping or whatever, but it was very similar to me, always like the Incredible Hulk. Every week, David Banner walked somewhere else and had a different story, which was very much like Quantum Leap. Incredible Hulk, they went on to make several TV movies. I fully expected Quantum Leap to do that, right? Like NBC was all about the movie of the week back in the late '90s and stuff. I'm shocked they missed that opportunity to just tell new stories whenever they felt like it.
100%.
But anyway,
it would have been cheap too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
It's pretty insane those Quantum Leap episodes some of them, many of them are like full cinematic movies, like the budget of movies. They're so well done. And then after a few of those, you get like a little bottle episode that is like they spent $7 on. You're like, is this even the same show? It's so hoke. But he carries the hell out of that show. Okay. Nick.
all right. So I was debating between the show I talked about a couple weeks ago, which was The Bondsman, which only got the 1 season with Kevin Bacon. And they set up such a good finale to go into season 2 that I was really... I knew before watching the series it only went 1 season, but they really set the table for what was going to be a crazy season 2. But that's not the one I'm going to go with. I'm going to stick with my original choice, and I'm sticking with it because Keith mentioned a different show by Brian Fuller, and my Brian Fuller show was, in fact, Hannibal, which ran from 2013 to 2015. It covers the up through the Red Dragon, and it took pieces of Hannibal, the book that comes after Silence of the Lambs, and put chunks of that story into the other seasons as well. What they never were able to do, because they didn't have the rights to use Clarice's character, was Silence of the Lambs itself. And that show across 3 seasons, first of all, it was on NBC, and they allowed that show to be as graphic and sexual and violent as it was on network television.
It was pretty legit.
Crazy.
I was surprised.
And it was one of the only shows that have ever been made, in my opinion, where they tell the same story, right, from the novels, but they tell it in a totally different way. They make Will Graham's character feel very different, played by Hugh Delaney. Mads Mikkelsen plays a completely different Hannibal Lecter from Anthony Hopkins. That show, it was just so well done. It ends on a cliffhanger. After the Red Dragon story ends, Hannibal and Will go off of a cliff together. You don't know what happens to them. But if I got my
Literally
extra season,
a cliffhanger.
literally a cliffhanger, off of a cliff, my season would be getting the rights to Clarice and giving me, I don't care, 10 episodes, 8 episodes, do Silence of the Lambs for real. And then I would be a happy man.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
This is going to be a tough list to pick from.
Yes,
guys.
it is.
Jesus.
Keith, your final show.
All right. Well, my final one. I'm surprised nobody said this with the all the wrestle folks here. So I'm gonna do I'm gonna do my choice and then a runner up to my choice, and the runner up to my choice is Heels, the Stars wrestling series, which ended after 2 seasons in a cliffhanger. Which was and that it just ended. This you could easily hop right back up for season 3. Stephen Amell wants to do it. Heels season 3, I think, makes a lot of sense. They did all this work to establish this. Give me a Heels season 3, but that is not my choice. But it's thematically the same because my choice is Glow.
I knew it. I knew it.
The Glow, the Netflix series starring Allison.
I never watched the last episode or the last season.
Allison Brie, Mark
neither,
Maron, Betty Gilpin. Such a good series. Incredibly well done. It had heart. It was smart. It embraced the ridiculousness of wrestling while still giving it the weight and respect. It's just, the acting is great. The writing was great. It ends in a sort of a cliffhanger too. It's very frustrating not to continue that story. I know everybody wanted to continue it, and Netflix canceled it. And so, look, I know it's based on a true story, and the true story didn't continue that much further, but they basically got
It's
up
continuing
to the
every
point,
week. It's still on.
But they basically got the show up to the point where Glow, the television series that this is based on, begins. So we never even did the real Glow as we know it. So it was very frustrating. I would want to see another season of Glow.
Okay, so let's just run it down real quick. Mike's choices were, oh man, Quantum Leap, Double Dare, Tales from the Crypt, Freaks and Geeks. Oh, what was the other one?
Tales from. Oh, you said Tales from the Crypt.
Alf.
Yeah.
Alf.
Yes. Strong list, in my opinion.
That's a very strong
Should
list.
we all pick our favorite of our choices?
Well, we're trying to get it down to 3, right? We can only greenlight
okay.
3 overall. So the only one I'm going to strongly pitch for myself is
We should nominate one for the 3, and then one of them gets choked out.
But there's some I think my list. We could get all 3 from my list. All right, that's a great idea, Keith. Freaks and Geeks. I think its popularity almost lives in its cult status, and though I think it deserved more, I don't know that anybody gives a crap about the story, and it would have to be so far in the future that it's tough. And Seth Rogen is kind of busy with the studio. Tales from the Crypt, I think, would be an awesome celebration for sure, but I don't know that they need all that really makes Tales from the Crypt was the tone and the marketing. Crypt Keeper was really just marketing. So, though I think it's an awesome pull, I will let it go. Double Dare, I think, is awesome. I think would be such a cool show. Alf is like a must, and Quantum Leap, it has to be Quantum Leap for me, obviously. It's my favorite show, and it needs to be resolved. But damn, I'm leaving some tasty morsels on the table, Ronnie.
Now, Mike, let me ask you a question, man. Like, is it based off of what we want to see, or are we like executives? And I'm like, who's gonna make the most money? Help me out, man.
I think it's all of the above. It has to
So
work.
everything.
That's the thing. It would have to work. We're greenlighting it. Like, we're making it
Yeah,
real
yeah,
right
yeah.
now. So
Okay,
Quantum Leap,
yeah.
I think it would work, and I think there's an audience for it. If you pitch it as like, this is what it is. It's the search for Sam.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Ooh.
All right, Ron, you're 5 again, and then the one of your list that you're pitching out.
So we got to go Sopranos. We got to go Young Justice. We're going Game of Thrones. Remake of the final season, which I think would work. We're going Cheaters, which I'm going to take out Cheaters.
Okay, Cheaters.
We're taking that out. I mean, I didn't know they had episodes in 2020, so we're going to take that out. And we're going Quantum Leap because I love Quantum Leap. But I love Quantum Leap. I don't know if Quantum Leap would work today. I just don't know. I love it, but the reboot showed it didn't work.
They tried and it failed.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I don't know if that would work, man.
They tried the concept again, but like the alchemy that makes that show work isn't the sci-fi of it. And they tried to make it a romance, which should not work. Keith and I've discussed. Yeah.
Oh, no. Why would they do that?
Because.
Oh, God, no.
Because.
No. Yeah, take out Cheaters on my list, man. But what I'm pushing for is the Sopranos because everyone loves Sopranos. Even this generation is getting into the Sopranos. They're loving Sopranos. It is an HBO staple. I think people would love it. They would watch it. Man.
All right, Mike.
You're making money and people are watching.
Oh, okay. We'll fight it out afterwards. Okay, so, all right. Nick?
This is tough. Obviously, Lights Out is a very obscure choice, and even though I want that next season, I can't imagine a lot of other people did because they canceled it so quickly. We got so much Chucky, I feel almost bad pitching for more. It's almost like, I ate all my cake and I really shouldn't have another piece at this point. But when we talk about Alf in particular, 2 of us brought up Alf. In my opinion, it was the worst ending of all of them. Mm-hmm. While we were doing our other movies, I did look up the TV movie because that was from 1996 called Project Alf. And I don't like it. I like it. So I really think Alf could have some legs if we wanted to bring Alf back. Hannibal as well, but the series viewership had gotten very low by the end of season 3, whereas Alf held up for the seasons that it ran. So if I really had to push for one on my list, I guess I would push for Alf, thinking that might have the best chance of being successful.
All right, Keith.
Yeah, so my criteria is going to be based on which of these series is one season away from a satisfying ending. Like which of these series that would go from the category of shows that like, it's frustrating to like, that feels good. And so like My So-Called Life would need more, Riches would need more, Dead Like Me would need more. So I think for me it's between Enterprise and Glow. But I think, Enterprise probably would need more than 10 episodes to wrap it up. So for me, I think Glow you could wrap up successfully, practically. You could actually do it right this minute without having to do any time travel. I think you could do it in 10 episodes, really finish that story in a satisfying way. So is it as popular as Game of Thrones or The Sopranos? Of course not. But I do think it is practical, and I think would take a series that feels very frustrating. It's like it's hard to go back and watch because like why? And make it something that has a period at the end of the sentence. And I think I'd go with Glow.
All right, so here's what I propose. We're gonna pick our 3, so we're gonna squeeze one out. We're gonna drown a baby here. But those of you watching, of the rest of our choices, not any of the ones we greenlight, you have to pick viewer's choice. All right, what is your pick for what you're gonna greenlight from our shows? So I like really lobby for Quantum Leap here. I understand doesn't have legs, but I do think if we can get it packaged with the rest of the series and we can get Bakula, I think it would be huge. I know it didn't just work right now, but I just, NCIS, New Orleans, you can't underestimate the Bakula.
You know what? Pick one of them to argue against.
Okay, well, for me, it would be Glow or Sopranos. Alf is a tough one but here's my pro Alf, and then I'll get into my debate real quick. Pro Alf is that, as the movie showed, and when you watch the show back, the cast isn't strong, but the whole show, then it's like Urkel. They revolve it around the puppet. So we can pitch the show completely without the family. They might not even be acting anymore. We can say that they're cool. Maybe they do a cameo at the end once Alf gets out, but we have a lot of creative liberties with the Alf. For me, my biggest question, though, Sopranos, it's going to be a hit. It will make a gajillion dollars. The question is, without Tony, who is the lead of the show?
That's what I said too. I know.
Who is the lead of the show? And that is that could be a problem.
Edie Falco's the star. Just saying.
Could be Edie.
Edie Falco's big. She's big.
Right, guys? Like an anthology too.
So that's where I'll leave my thoughts for right now. I would say Glow was great. And Keith, I like your argument that they can wrap it up in one season, and it would be like a nice, perfect little package of a couple seasons. So that's strong. So that's sort of where I'm leaving it right now. Anybody else want to jump in on that?
I'll come in. Let me assassinate the 3 shows quickly.
Okay.
I love you, man.
Just for the sake of fun.
Okay.
Okay, Alf. I understand the nostalgia of it, but is it any good? Does is it one of those things where do you really want to shine a light on that sitcom?
We could sell a lot of Alf dolls though. Alf sells.
We're
making
merch,
money too.
but the Alf merch is already selling. And I think everybody's remembering it better than it actually was. Everybody loves the doll because in your brain, you're writing episodes for that doll that aren't terrible. And I wonder, is it actually any good? Which is an open question because I don't really know.
I don't know, 7 seasons of Fuller House tends to disagree.
Have you watched an episode? They're terrible. Anyway.
Wait. Fuller House was amazing. Yeah. I loved every episode of Fuller House.
You're a liar.
Also enjoyed it.
I'm a liar? No, I am not.
Did you really like
Fernando? Fernando was one of the best characters ever created. Almost took over the whole series.
Here's the thing, though. I think we as a culture, at least for now, have moved away from multicam sitcoms.
And don't say that.
And
don't
it's
say
not.
that.
It's just not something we care. Like it's for old people on CBS. Like I think it's out of time. All right. So moving on. I've got more things to assassinate.
Okay, that's fair.
The Sopranos. I'd love it. It's a great idea. Here's the problem you're going to have. People are going to hate it. Because people have such strong feelings about The Sopranos.
You're right.
Whether Tony's there, whether Tony's not there, it was this perfect thing that was magical. And if you try to resurrect that corpse as much as it's because of people's investment with it, it will get savaged and murdered, and everybody involved will burn it to the ground.
You're right.
Quantum Leap, I think, is one of the stronger choices. It's just that. Demographically, that what you want to do is for old people, right? We are now out of the 18 to 40 demographic that people want to sell stuff to. So you're already cutting it off to old people who
I can tell you
remember the show.
CBS's target demo ain't 18 to 35.
No, for sure. And CBS would be the place to air it, but I don't think it would ever get the ratings enough. I mean, I like that idea better than most. But I think that, I haven't seen Quantum Leap, and that's going to be one of our things. And I bet after our review series, I'm going to love this idea so much more. But it doesn't have either the contemporaneous freshness of a show reason, or it doesn't have the fan base of Star Trek or Star Wars or any of these properties.
Professional wrestling, female
professional wrestling, which never got canceled. I mean, but like it's just too old. I think the time left, the 90s, early 2000s, maybe it's been like 40 years.
Okay,
That's too
fair.
late.
That's so. What are you? So Just Glow is what you would greenlight?
No. I'm just assassinating shows for the fun of it. Give me another show.
Thanks, buddy.
The problem Glow would have is that no one's going to get the rights from Netflix, and you would have to air it with the rest of the series available.
It would have to be Netflix,
and Netflix is going to have to decide to do it, which is they're not going to do.
They're not going to. They and we never know how. You don't really know how many people watched it, or you don't get the proof from Netflix.
I don't think it's a likely prospect. I think The Sopranos is actually quite possible.
No, to be honest, I actually of all the shows, I think the redo of the last season of Game of Thrones is probably the most you would get the most support for.
I think it would be the best financial investment.
But then they'd end up hating it like they do everything.
It doesn't matter.
For sure. For sure.
Just one interesting thing to throw into the mix, and I'm not making an argument for it, but Keith, you did a wonderful summary of the show. But what we really didn't mention was that My So-Called Life basically was the beginning of every other series that tried to do the high school drama and take it seriously. And I can't explain, the way Danielle reveres that show is amazing. And then we watched it with Talia and Bella, and Talia, this is a show from the 90s. It's like the Stone Ages practically. And she was in. So I don't know if you would do another season from where it left off, or if you would do the modern day, but the modern day, again, we're old, so...
Well, I think you could do it by having Claire Danes be the character, but now be the mom of another teenage daughter.
Yeah,
which is exactly what they did with that was Gilmore Girls, basically.
Oh, okay, so hold on. They did that for 90210, and that was a big flop, guys.
Well, it has to be.
And 90210 was a big hit, man, in the 90s. That was the show, and they brought it back.
All right, so here's a criteria, right? Because I think any of these only work if they are in the same tone and caliber of the original series. But if you're going to go back to a series that was of its time and by today's standards is not very good. Like 80s television, 90s television by today's standards is garbage. So if you're not picking something that's like Most So-Called Life, which was so far ahead of its time and would hold up in today's, style of television, I think you would have a real hard time.
Freedom. I don't think that I would then pitch Tales from the Crypt once again. Whereas
totally,
it's a series that could be now updated with today's sensibilities, with a more serious tint, maybe, or even better directors handling camp horror. Could be interesting.
Which is why an anthology, I think, would work much better than continuing.
Will we bring it back from the dead? You want to bring Tales from the Crypt back in? I'm happy to.
No, I do. I think that today everyone loves horror. I mean, you have Halloween Horror Fest in Universal Studios. That's big. So the Crypt Keeper is going to sell. It's going to make money. It's going to bring people back to nostalgia, thinking about the Crypt Keeper. If you have good writers on it, and you have the Crypt Keeper, yeah, it's going to be a big hit, man. That's my number one, dude. I'm telling you right now. Bring Tales from the Crypt in.
I'm not a big anthology guy, but I have a way to make what you're doing, make that better. And that is do the Ryan Murphy and have an ensemble of actors that you are telling these stories with over and over again.
I like
so
that.
10 episodes, different directors, completely different stories with a company of actors.
So like Laurie Metcalf is a different freaking weirdo in every one of these.
I love that. Dude, that's how we
don't even need
I got so excited my light went away.
Don't even need 10 episodes. You do one a week for all of October, and you get like some big heavy hitters. Your Kathy Bates, your Laurie Metcalf.
Right, and then the next season, and then you could do another season with a different
the
ensemble.
Rules were one season.
Oh, okay, one season.
We're getting two, David. We're getting two, David, with Tales from the Crypt.
Do we want to? Nick? Where are you falling on this? Because we're pulling an audible here. Are we locking this in with the green light?
See, when we added the criteria of there actually has to be a chance for it to be successful, then I think Tales from the Crypt gives you the best chance for that, for sure.
All right, so our first green light is going to go to bringing back HBO's one of the original masterpieces, Tales from the Crypt, an anthology series.
Which I still watch to this day. I had them on DVD and I still watch them.
I've never seen them.
Oh, how are we friends, Keith? You know what? I'm going to hit you next Sunday just for that comment.
David Duchovny's Red Shoe Diaries. Let's get into it.
Yes. But it's got to be still David Duchovny's saggy ass now.
Yes, 100%. Okay, so that's tough, but I still don't hate Quantum Leap. The three of us are so on board on that. You haven't watched it, Keith, so that's tough.
Yeah, I mean, like if we're gonna pick three, I'll let it go through. Of the finalists, I like that. I like that better.
All right, so we're gonna.
The struggle with Quantum Leap is simply the criteria we added, and a Quantum Leap just failed. So that's really the only argument against.
Yeah, but it failed after the first season was very successful. It failed after that because they ran out of story, because the lead character wasn't as compelling, and they were trying to do it all very budget based. I think with a Scott Bakula on board, with a very focused story with one season.
Here's my pitch for it.
Yeah.
8 episodes. We're doing 8 different leaps, but we have the larger arc of I'm following the path home through these 8.
Yes. And it's
okay.
You add a ticking clock that's like, here are the leaps. He knows them, and if he doesn't do them all sequentially correctly, it ain't happening.
Right.
Like,
he's got to follow the path home through these 8 leaps.
Time out. Okay, so we're all executives for NBC, and we have failed the past year. We need a hit, a solid hit. If we don't have a hit, we're fired. Are we banking our career on Quantum Leap? That's all I'm going to ask. We're banking our career on this.
I'm banking my career, no.
No, but I would say if we're doing this in the fantasy zone, it would be okay.
But that's the fantasy zone. Like that's our career right now.
Well,
we need a hit.
Okay,
we need 3 hits.
Because I think Quantum Leap fills a hole, doesn't make a hit.
No, but I would say it's more like hey, we're launching NBCverse, the NBC streaming app. We're putting in the old school Quantum Leap with all the music rights, all the stuff, and we need something to launch it. We're bringing Scott Bakula back for the final 8. We're going to launch it alongside. Sold. I think it's there,
sold.
Man.
Okay, you're sold.
Okay, all right, hold on. New streaming service that is exclusively devoted to final seasons of shows.
Scott
that didn't get
Bakula
it.
properties.
He sells it, dude. Scott Bakula sells it.
So we buy every one of these that has an unsatisfying.
Oh,
we buy the
shit.
archive, and then we do a final. So we finish the thought on all
like
of the
that.
series that didn't have a finished thought, and we sell both packaging. So like, all right, you're gonna watch Quantum Leap, but we're gonna finish it. We're gonna
Actually,
watch
Keith, what
Freaks and Geek, but we're gonna finish it.
That's actually, you just pitched a really great podcast. You know what they do in that documentary of Deep Space Nine where they just kind of talk about what the last season should be? You do that for all these shows, right? Anyway, okay. We got Quantum Leap. We got Tales from the Crypt.
Yep.
We need one final show to greenlight. It's sounding like I don't hate My So-Called Life. I don't hate Glow. It's an easy lift.
You know what? I'm gonna go out of left field. I'm gonna double down on
Double
Nick's
Dare?
Hannibal.
Oh,
No, on Hannibal. Hannibal feels like it is IP that is still relevant. The actors are still possible. It's a missing. We had the cliffhanger. I think everybody would be willing to do it.
Can you get me a cameo from Sir Anthony Hopkins?
Maybe, probably,
or Jodie Foster.
And especially if we're going to take this to our new streaming service and do it R.
Oh yeah.
Take it off NBC.
I gotta say, I
give me
never
a
watched
hardcore
Hannibal.
final season with this cast with Brian Fuller, and finish this.
What were the numbers
And
for
Silence
them?
of the Lambs too. Like I think take your idea there. You like finished that idea. That's I think that's the best hit.
What was the numbers on Hannibal?
The numbers were never fantastic, Ron, because it was so graphic and weird, but it had a cult following, and until the end of the third season, the ratings were good enough to justify greenlighting more.
Okay,
It shouldn't have been on NBC. It was on the wrong. It was on the wrong
Exactly.
network.
From the
So
beginning.
so
From
hold
the
on. Okay.
beginning.
I'm fighting for My Sopranos here, man. I want to fight for My Sopranos. You rather
I hate
have
it.
that than The Sopranos to find out what the aftermath of what happened in the greatest ending of all time, or the most talked about ending of all time. That's what you guys
Ron,
are telling me.
Here's what I'll say about Sopranos. I'll give you a pitch. This
Okay.
would be my pitch.
All right, what's the pitch?
It ends on Tony's what we
Demise.
think is Tony's death, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Then we want the story to continue. So you do 8 episodes, sort of like an anthology, but each episode tells the next event, and we have to decide what that would be from a different character's perspective. And through those episodes, you get to the finale where the whole puzzle comes together, and then you have, the payoff at the end. It's not enough to think through, but I think you have to do something really different than what the series was.
Oh,
But
like
here's
I said, you can't do 10 episodes on that. You're right. So I like what you just said.
Here's the thing, though.
You can't do The Sopranos without Tony Soprano.
Whenever Keith says that, that's something bad,
it's-
folks.
It's what you get there.
How did the prequel do?
is
People shit on
great.
it, man.
Yeah.
yeah, people shit on it exactly.
But it wasn't
you
good,
get
Keith.
with
It
that-
wasn't good.
What you get with that pitch is whatever the Camaro movie follow-up to Breaking Bad was, right? Where it was like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah.
The Camaro. El Camino.
Camino.
El Camino.
But you're
whatever
right, Keith, it was
I don't
okay.
even
You're right.
remember, I don't remember what it was, and it was like, okay, that's fine. Like it's nice to finish, to wrap up some of those things, but the show doesn't need it.
It doesn't.
My imagination of it, like it was like leftovers of a really good meal. I'd rather just leave on the memory of the really good
Right,
meal.
and because what you want to avoid too is the Friends or the Seinfeld of it, right? Where it's like it ended too late. Like anything you do is going to feel like you're just trying to mine gold from an old dead.
And it's a perfect analogy there because there's no Bryan Cranston, right? So like you don't have your lead.
I hate
You're-
you, Keith.
Yeah.
You're
I
sort of
hate
like
you.
doing the ... We don't need it.
All right, so Sopranos is out. It sounds like Claire Danes. We love Claire Danes, but that's a saturated market. The sort of like
It is.
you
It
know,
is.
Yeah, I don't think we need it. I don't think we need it.
Okay, so we're down to 3. Listen, we can keep doing this right now, or we can leave it to the audience to pick the third.
Well, can I say one thing
yeah.
though? I like Nick's the box. What was it? Boxing thing called, Nick?
Oh, Lights Out?
That sounds
Yeah,
great,
but-
man.
But that's just a redo. Just
That's
do
like
it
a new
again.
series.
Yeah, like why don't we?
I think Hannibal, Quantum Leap,
Glow?
and what was the first one we decided?
Tales from the
and
Crypt.
Oh,
Tales from the
Tales from the
Crypt.
Crypt. Tales from the
Tales from the
Crypt.
Crypt.
That's my 3, I think.
It's a solid list. It's not
That is
where
a
I thought
solid
we'd end.
list.
We're leaving Alf in federal prison.
Yes, he's a puppet. Who cares?
I guess, or we accept Project Alf as what really happened at the,
What? I don't remember. But
Well, like I said, I looked it up.
he get out?
They plot to kill him. People change their minds, and he's exposed to the whole world and becomes like a big celebrity.
Oh.
The Tanner family got put in witness protection in Iceland, and it's that's how it ends.
Okay.
We continue Alf as a TikTok account.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair enough, dude. Let's do it.
Can't argue with that.
45-second Alf makes a stupid joke. That's all the episodes are anyway.
The smartest thing from Project Alf was when they smuggle him out to freedom. He is in a hotel room and he's with like the two people who help break him out. He sneaks out and goes to a strip club next door called the Kitty Cat Club because he thinks it's a bunch of cats he can eat, and it turns out that it's strippers.
That's funny. That's funny.
That is funny.
I was hoping there'd be full nudity in an Alf reboot.
Yeah, mom's kind of cute, man. Yeah, I had a crush on her when I was little.
I mean, I
That
do
was a
love
weird-
it. I do
that's a
love
weird
it.
Mrs.
kid.
Tanner was okay.
Okay.
The daughter was okay too.
Oh
So-
yeah.
Keep
On
it-
that beautiful thought.
So we're going Quantum Leap, The Search for Sam.
Yeah.
We're going Tales from the Crypt 2026.
Yeah.
We're going Hannibal,
Silence of the Lambs season.
Silence of the Season 5.
There it is.
Yeah. I like it. I like
All
it.
right. Good.
Now,
Wow.
Can Young Justice get some love? Like maybe that's on Borderline, Young Justice.
Well-
because now again, Supergirl's coming out. Creature Commandos did good.
Animate's hard for me.
I feel like they did Titans too, Ron. which
I want
kind of
season
like-
3. I want
Oh,
season
yeah,
3 of John Lovitz as the critic. It stinks. Remember that shit? It was so
stinks.
good.
Oh,
that
hell
show.
yeah.
I'd watch it. I'd
Comedy
watch that.
Central, like 11 o'clock on Sunday nights, man. Yeah,
Or Yo
dude.
Gabba Gabba, bring that batshit crazy show back.
Kids, it's time for season of dinner.
Okay, hold on.
Did you,
Not quite
Mike?
yet.
Did you see they started making a different Yo Gabba Gabba? And
A
it's
new
not
one?
good.
Oh.
Not good.
Ron, you've got yours already, but let's reiterate it.
I got two real quick, man.
Okay.
So number one, Euphoria let on Sunday, season 3. Ooh, and they say it's bad, but I don't care. It's Euphoria, man. I got Zendaya, I got Sydney Sweeney, I got Jacob DeLorean. Let's go. I'm excited. And then one I'm really about. Now this could be a rumor. I'm not sure if it's true or not. Yes. No. Grand Theft Auto 6 will now let 2 players complete the entire story together and co-op campaigns for the first time. If that's true, I am taking off work for a week, and if that's true, oh my God.
That game's going to cost $100, I promise.
I don't care, Mike. I don't care. I bought a Matrix for $160. I'll pay $100 for this. I don't care.
No.
Ronnie, just promise me you're not going to play it with Ari.
No,
I don't want to see you and Ari beating up strippers.
No. If that's true, we are streaming that. We are playing that.
We are playing this.
I can't wait.
Yes.
That's
I can't
awesome.
wait.
That is awesome.
Awesome. Yeah,
I
for
actually
sure.
want to, along the lines of Cheaters, Ron, I just found out one of my favorite shows of the past, 10 years, really, was a show called on, what's that channel Mom's always watching, Nick? And we give her all of the things we pay for. but yeah.
Pluto, Tubi.
Tubi, right?
Tubi.
A
Yeah,
Tubi original, I believe it was Tubi, Jury Duty. Have you guys watched Jury
I
Duty?
Yes.
saw that.
Yes.
But
Yeah, very good.
That show was
the fake
awesome.
out. Yeah, of course.
It was so
fun.
good. There's a sequel. There's it's called Jury Duty Company Retreat. It's airing on Amazon Prime. If it's even kind of as good as the first one, I'm excited about it. I needed a popcorn show. That's going to be it. I was so excited to read that today. So I'm going to be checking that out. It's also, of course, WrestleMania season coming up. But I guess that's for next week. Yeah. So yeah, Jury Duty for me. Jury Duty Company Retreat on Amazon Prime. Keith?
Okay. Well, look, this one is from the heart. My weekly rad is next weekend, seeing my buddies in real life for WrestleMania.
Yes.
The build sucks. The wrestling is gonna suck. I don't care. I just want to be with my friends for one night in person.
I'm excited, dude. I'm excited more for that too, man.
Yeah, that's fun. Nick, weekly rad.
So sticking with the weekly rad, Danielle and I started watching. As you guys know, we have shows that we are allowed to watch alone. Mm-hmm. But then if you start a show together and both like it, you have to watch it together.
Fair.
Which is difficult because Danielle works the night job. But anyway,
big problem. Yeah.
We are 3 episodes in to DTF St. Louis, and here's what I want to say. And I know this might not make a lot of sense, but let me try. I don't like it. It makes me sad and depressed.
Oh, geez.
It's kind of like what real life feels like, and then we want more than that, and then you find a friend and it changes things, but your life still kind of sucks. But at the same time, I have to keep watching because it is a mystery, and the way the characters are well developed, you want to see. You don't necessarily care about all the characters, but you want to see what's going to happen with them. I'm really, really excited to see how it ends up after we finish. So my weekly rad is DTF St. Louis.
Yeah, after the pilot, I felt that way. I just haven't continued because I found a video game that hit my interest again. We'll revisit that next week, but we have gone on for so long. We have greenlit 3 shows. Will you greenlit the 4th? I'll let you know if anybody comments next week. I don't have high hopes. Until then, keep on doing the things you find fun. Don't let anyone yuck your yum. And keep on geeking on.